Welcome to NYC Now. I'm Janae Pierre. Finding love in New York City can be difficult for some. But why? On today's episode, we chat with a dating coach to discuss just that. But first, here's what's happening around the city. New York City continues to experience historic cold temperatures. Officials are urging people to stay inside as much as possible this weekend, as more Arctic air comes our way. Forecasters are saying low temperatures will be in the single digits at times, making it potentially unsafe to be outdoors. The cold weather isn't helping the nearly 2-week-old snow go away any faster either. Here's Mayor Zohran Mamdani.
What we are looking at is some of the coldest weather we've seen in recorded history in New York City, and where typically snowfall would be followed by an increase in temperatures and the assistance of the sun in melting that snow, what we've instead seen is a cold front, the likes of which we have not seen in many years.
Mayor Mamdani has been criticized for his policy of no longer sweeping homeless encampments after over 15 people were found dead outdoors during the recent period of extreme cold. Most of them reportedly died from hypothermia. Mamdani is continuing the Adams policy of involuntary removal of people unable to care for themselves. The mayor says he's focused on getting people off the streets by working with outreach groups to reach out directly to homeless New Yorkers to bring them inside.
For many homeless New Yorkers, their prior experiences with the shelter system are also what color their decision-making of whether or not they should be inside or outside. And so we don't want to go to them and say, there's only one option you have, take it or leave it. Our goal is to go to these homeless New Yorkers and say, here are the many different ways that you could come indoors, be warm, be safe, and ensure that we are actually meeting that moment and meeting their needs.
The concrete jungle will feel like an Arctic tundra this weekend. The mayor is asking New Yorkers to keep an eye on their neighbors and call 311 if they see anyone outside who looks as if they need help. Though it's cold outside, I hope your heart isn't. We all know how difficult it can be to date in New York City. We'll get into why, plus the do's and don'ts of dating. That's after a quick break. New Yorkers, we work hard, play harder, and guess what? We look good too. And yet there is so much discourse about dating in this city. Now, some people will tell you New York is the best place in the world to date. Now, others will say it's the absolute worst. And everyone is trying to figure it out. Dating in New York City is not for the faint of heart. Surviving and thriving here is already expensive. And I had to take a breath because it is expensive. And dating can feel like a full-time job sometimes with no benefits for many of you. Ugh, that sucks. So ahead of Valentine's Day, I wanted to talk to a professional, a dating expert, someone who actually understands what's happening in the dating world and can tell me why so many people are sleeping alone in the city that never sleeps. Erika Ettin is a New York City-based dating coach who's turned all this chaos into a hustle. She's the founder of A Little Nudge. That's an online dating service. We're going to talk to her about what makes dating in New York different from anywhere else, how business is going for a dating coach in this city, and yes, we'll get into the do's and don'ts and all the other dating rules that you may or may not be breaking. Erika, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. Love that intro.
So let's get to the big question here. Why is dating in New York City so difficult?
I think dating these days is difficult.
Period.
So,
no matter where you are.
Period.
Okay.
Exactly. Regardless of where you live. I will say, and I don't want to negate what you're saying because dating in New York is hard. So I will say certain things do make dating in New York unique. Whether that makes it more difficult or not, is up to the person. Mm-hmm. But you have the geography. In other cities, it's different. But here, say, for example, you live in Brooklyn, someone's in New Jersey, they don't want to come to you and vice versa. That could make it difficult.
Yeah.
I do think because there are so many people in New York, just the sheer absolute number of people, it does sometimes make people feel like they're expendable or they're commodities, when in reality, there's a whole person behind you. And so that does make any big city, but particularly New York, difficult to date.
We're talking about like the difficulties of dating in New York City, and the distance can be a real burden. But, people in Houston, Texas have to deal with the same thing and maybe even go even further, right? Can we talk about like the role the borough hop plays in all of this?
Yeah, that does definitely make New York unique. People definitely have a mental barrier about crossing boroughs. Why? Is it a river? That's the problem? Is it money? I can't answer that. That's an individual question. But I do see this all the time because I have clients share their phone screens with me over Zoom. So I'm watching them look at profiles and select people. And often I'll see them look at where that person is located. And if it is not close enough, in their opinion, to where they live, it's an automatic no. And I do my best to say, like, if this person seems really good on all fronts, it's worth perhaps crossing that river.
Mm-hmm.
That is a huge mental barrier for people. I don't know what it is with rivers.
I've known rivers. I don't know.
And I think in other cities, you don't think about it as much because you're in your car.
Right.
You know, people are in their cars all the time. But here, you have to take a subway or something or a bus or whatever to get to another place. And that just seems like a big hurdle for people.
Yeah. And I mean, don't talk about if it's the weekend and it's after 11 p.m. and I need to get back to Brooklyn, but I'm coming from the Bronx.
I get it. Now, I will say for women who date men, most do want the first date anyway, to be closer to them. Mm-hmm. So they're more on their home turf to make sure they feel comfortable and to make sure that someone is willing to take into account their comfort and safety. And so when it's a woman who is swiping and she says, well, I'm in Brooklyn, he lives, in New Jersey or Bronx or whatever. And I say to her, well, why don't we see where he suggests for a first date? Because you learn so much about people from where they suggest. If he suggests something in his backyard, obviously, you're not going to meet him anyway. But I say if he's willing to come closer to you for that first date, does the location matter? And that sometimes gets through to people.
Mm-hmm. For some of the clients that you may have here in New York City
Mm-hmm.
who have success stories,
Mm-hmm.
and now, they have their boo.
Mm-hmm.
Things are going well.
Mm-hmm.
They're a year in or so. And, maybe one lives in Harlem and the other lives in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And now they're considering moving in together.
Mm-hmm.
Is that too soon? Or is that the New York way?
Oh, that's so unique to every couple. I could never say what time period. Here's what I will say, though. Don't move in just to save on rent. Mm-hmm. Like, it should not be a logistical decision. I see way too many couples say, well, their lease is up, so, like, no. I think you should be together for at least 4 seasons. So a year is good. You got to see what people are like when they're cold.
Yeah.
When they're hot, when they're hungry, when they're hangry. You have to see people in all situations before you decide. But a year, depending on your age, too, and how much experience you have, a year seems pretty reasonable to me.
Let's talk about dating a New Yorker. A lot of transplants here.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say this transplant who has now been here a few years
Mm-hmm.
is really feeling this New Yorker boo that they have. But, you don't know if you're going to be here your whole life because people just don't think that way. For real, for real.
That is true. We can't know everything, period. We just can't. And so many people, particularly in New York, are trying to discern things prematurely. People ask these questions on first dates. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Do you see yourself staying in New York?
I hate that question, too.
Everybody hates that question because it feels like an interview question that you can't pass. There's
Right.
no right answer. And so I would say as it relates to whether someone is a city person or wants to stay in the city, obviously if you plan on moving, you should disclose that to somebody because that's relevant information for them to know to decide if they want to stay with you. But so many things could happen in life. And so trying to plan out the entire rest of your story does you a disservice because we just don't know. And hopefully, if you're in the right relationship and someone has a job that moves them out of the city or something else, you can work together to figure out the right choice for you. People are so quick to look for reasons to dismiss somebody. Oh, they're going to move in 5 years. Oh, they this. Oh, they that. Oh, they're not exactly on the timeline I have planned for my life when I was 5. Let people win. Look for reasons to include them, not exclude them.
Yeah. We talked about New York City being a burden and it being so difficult to date here. But, sometimes dating in New York City can be really great, right?
There are a lot of people. Yeah, there are a lot of people. And so there's that expression, wherever you go, there you are. So if you're struggling with something, even if you weren't in New York, I do believe, some things are internal. And then, yes, of course, some things are external. I think it's easy in that there are always interesting and interested people around. But that same exact thing makes it harder because of the paradox of choice. With more choice, are people as happy in the choices they're making? They find a 9, they want a 10, whatever that means to them. That does make it difficult.
It seems like a lot of people are only sticking to online dating these days. Do you hear from your clients that they've maybe are they meeting people out in the wild? Do you have advice for them to do that as well?
I sure do. Yeah, I don't think you should rely on any one tool. So online dating is a tool. So is going out to meet people in person. So I always tell my clients, I want you to do online dating, yes, but I also want you to go to 3 in-person events per month. So I try to keep a goal that's reasonable, not too lofty. One of those 3 things has to be a dating thing, like a speed dating or a singles mixer. And the other 2 could be anything you want that you're going to enjoy yourself anyway. And if you talk to other people, it's a bonus. So if you like trivia, go to a trivia night. If you like whiskey, as we were talking about earlier, you go to a whiskey tasting.
That's
right.
You
go to a cheese tasting. Whatever makes you happy anyway, you're going to be more yourself when you're in your element. And then if you meet someone, it's even better.
Yeah. We see a rise in New York City in run clubs and all these other clubs. What is your advice to your clients with all of that?
Yes, join things. Yes. So that's part of the 3 events per month I recommend. So one should be dating related. And when I say dating related, there are speed dating companies here. There are meetups. There are companies. Can I drop names?
Yeah.
I get nothing from this other than the sheer satisfaction
Well,
of
maybe we will.
sending people out there. City Swoon is a speed dating company that I like. My Cheeky Date is a speed dating. It's a silly name, but I think it's British. I don't know. Is a speed dating company I like. There's one called Shaka Club that has age-based happy hours. There's one called Jigsaw Dating. There are so many companies. If you look now, in terms of other things that you might think are fun, find a thing you like to do. If you hate running, don't go to a run club, obviously. But if you're thinking about running, yes, go to a run club. If you like comedy, go to a comedy show. Sites I use to find events, Eventbrite is a great site. There's an app called Luma. It's basically an aggregator of events. You can find things. There's one called Pulsed, P-U-L-S-D. There's one called Bucket Listers. These are all aggregators of events, but they are events where people who have similar interests to you congregate. And so whatever that is to you, whether it's a run club, which, yes, I see runners I hate running. They're all over my neighborhood, and I keep getting these emails, and I'm like, it is not going to happen. But gyms, too, go to your gym, join a weightlifting club, just something that is your interest. But yes, New York is great for that because you can find a run club in every neighborhood.
Yeah, you really can. That's an easy way to make friends. You just got to get up and run.
Well, easier said than done.
All right, so let's get into some of the do's and don'ts of dating.
Okay.
You want to start a list there?
Oh, just start a list?
Come on, we know it's long. We'll be here for days.
Okay, I'm going to give more abstract and then more concrete.
Okay.
Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
So abstract is first believing that there are good people out there. So many people I know say, well, there's no one good. And then you're sort of, everyone you meet is proving you right in a way. That's too much work for everyone. So first is believing that there are good people out there and you will find them. Second is accepting that dating does take work. I think you and I both know many people who think their perfect person is just going to knock, knock, knock on their door, be like, I'm your husband, I'm here. No, that's not how it works. And so I think some people begrudgingly do the work and think I'm better than this. Nobody is better. It's just like a job search, right? You have to put together your resumes. You have to send them out. Some won't like you. You won't like some. But, if the first 5 don't work, you don't say, well, I guess working's not for me. We persevere. Do create manageable goals. So I was saying this earlier. I have all of my clients log into their dating apps for 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes in the evening. That way you can't get addicted to it. You can't be swiping all day, every day. But it's enough that you can be productive, but then you put it away.
Okay.
The 3 events per month. If you're on Hinge is very popular right now. Most of my clients are on Hinge. In the free version of Hinge, you're allowed to write to 8 people for free every single day. To the extent that you find 8 people you like, which I know on some days might be harder than others, but try to write to every single person you're allowed. And don't just click like, send an actual message. So find something in their profile that maybe speaks to you or resonates with you, make a statement about it, and then ask a question. So like, I don't know why cheese is on my mind. Maybe I'm hungry. But like something like, oh my gosh, I noticed that cheese plate in front of you. Are you pro or con blue cheese? You know, that's a good... Oh, I love blue cheese. Fine. I'm not saying you have to talk about cheese, but you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
Don't have negativity in your profile. You see a lot of profiles, don't want this, don't want that, don't want that. That's negative. Even if the person fits all of your criteria, they don't want to deal with your negativity. Meet someone relatively quickly.
Like don't linger with the messages.
Exactly. No pen pals. I always give the advice, try to have a date set up within a week of matching with someone. I'm not saying you have to meet them within that week, but at least be talking about meeting, setting up a date within that week, or else you lose all momentum and it's not going to happen. Yeah, don't have pen pals. This is a controversial not that controversial, but I recommend arranging the entire date within the dating app before exchanging numbers. And I only recommend exchanging numbers for contingencies. And here's why. The minute someone says, oh my God, it's so much easier to text, and then you start texting, and then there's no urgency anymore to set up a date. You're getting the good morning text, good night, what did you eat today? I don't even tell my friends what I ate today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like it builds this false sense of intimacy before you've gotten to know someone. I want you to know that this person can lock down a plan before you're exchanging numbers.
So Valentine's Day is coming up. What advice are you giving to your clients these days?
Same advice I always do. But if you're going on a first date on Valentine's Day, it does not mean more than a regular first date. So it's just a day. I think it is a Saturday for what it's worth.
It is,
but
yeah.
It's just a day. It's still a first date, and it doesn't have to mean something. Also, if you're newly seeing something and it's Valentine's Day, you don't have to amplify the seriousness of the relationship simply because an arbitrary date has come up. So just treat it as any other day. And last thing, if you're going out with someone you've been out with maybe a few times and Valentine's Day is coming up, to protect yourself from disappointment, because a lot of people will say, oh, they didn't get me anything. I want you to have the conversation in advance of Valentine's Day. How do you feel about Valentine's Day? Would you like to exchange something small? You're never going to be upset for getting clarification if ultimately you get what you want from that conversation.
Love that. And don't succumb to the pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a Hallmark holiday.
Yeah. All Hallmark. Erika Ettin, thanks so much for joining me, and happy Valentine's Day to you.
You too.
All right, if you do have a little boo and you need some Valentine's Day plans, we got you. Stay close. Just imagine, right? You're with the person of your dreams. You don't have to tell me who that is. Money's not a thing, right? Just like the song, money ain't a thing. What would you do for Valentine's Day?
I mean, the fish market event is pretty wild.
Hannah, please stop. Please stop. You want to go to the Fulton Fish Market?
I mean, what, am I going to go to, like, Daniel and drop $1,000 for a 10-course meal that takes 5 hours? I mean, I guess if someone else is paying, but I don't know.
With the person of your dreams, you want to go to a fish market?
Have you been? It's so weird.
Okay, yeah, I haven't been. So.
Okay, this is not, my proclivities are perhaps not average or relatable, but that is my honest answer.
Okay.
Well, where would you go? All the money in the world.
All the money in the world with my boo. I'm somewhere on a yacht in Turks and Caicos. Unlimited crab legs and the blue butter from STK.
To each their own. You have your yacht. I have my wholesale fish market in the Bronx.
Yeah. I'm feeling the love in the air right now. And that's because Valentine's Day is a week away. And this year is extra special, I believe, because it lands on a Saturday. So if a romantic dinner is not your style, there's plenty of daylight activities to enjoy with a lover, with a friend, a loved one, or by yourself. Because it's always good to celebrate me, myself, and I. So joining me in studio, WNYC's arts and culture reporter Hannah Frishberg has been collecting a healthy list of things to do on Saturday. And Hannah's here in studio with me to talk about what New York has to offer. What's up, Hannah?
Hey, thanks for having me.
All right. Fulton Fish Market, What's popping off?
It's going to be weird. It's really far in the Bronx, but, an adventure to get there, taking the 6 into eternity. And then they're going to have a feast of seafood in a 400,000 square foot refrigerator, because that is what the Fulton Fish Market is functionally, a 400,000 square foot refrigerator.
That's really appealing to me now that I think about it. I am a pescatarian. So just being able to go out, look at some fresh fish and say, hey, grill that up for me. Is that something I can do there?
Yeah, this is the best fish in the city. The restaurants that you're saying you would rather go to on Valentine's Day, they're probably sourcing their fish from the Fulton Fish Market. So you're just kind of cutting out the middleman of the restaurant and going straight there.
To the source.
Yeah, going straight to the fisherman.
Yeah.
From their hook to your mouth. Hook to table, as no one says.
Oh, I love hook to table.
Yeah, now a classic saying.
Definitely. Have you been to this fish market?
Yes. So they started doing this event series last year, and I went to their first event there, which is a VIP press preview kickoff for this event series, and it was a blast.
Tell me more about these hot tubs.
The hot tubs were not at the last event. But they are necessary because it is cold in there, because the fish are the priority. The parties are a new thing.
Yeah.
These are human hot tubs. I believe they have 12 of them for this
12
event.
hot tubs. And do you have to pay extra if you want to be in the hot tub?
Yeah, it's $1,000, I think. But I think they're still selling tickets, so there might be some discounts available.
I mean, yeah. $1,000 to go into a hot tub with a stranger?
It might be private. I feel like they're private hot tubs.
I hope they're private.
The event right.
I hope they're private. Okay, $1,000 to be in a hot tub. I think I changed my response. I think I want to go to the Fulton Fish Market for Valentine's Day.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be weird.
Yeah, great, weird, sounds good. So, if people are into the classically romantic way to celebrate Valentine's Day, which traditionally is just hitting a nice, expensive restaurant, what would you recommend?
Oh, man, so many nice, expensive restaurants have emailed me, and none of them stuck out. I like sushi, personally. I mean, dinner in New York is always good. Yeah. It's like brunch, They just charge you extra on the holidays, if we're being honest.
Yeah, that is true.
It's just a good day to get ripped off. Go on Sunday, not Saturday. That's my tip for Valentine's Day dinner.
Bring in Valentine's Day. Maybe a Friday night, maybe a Sunday brunch.
Yeah, real love is cooking for each other. Cook for someone.
Wow, real love. I'm talking about some real love. That's for you, Mary J. Okay, but seriously, I know you said no restaurant popped out at you, but where should folks go? What do you recommend? If I want that, romantic movie type vibe.
Well, the Empire State Building is screening Sleepless in Seattle.
Oh, that is romantic.
Right? And it's kind of meta because, the Empire State Building is in that film as well.
Yeah.
That should be fun. And they're also going to give the observatory tour for guests. So you get to watch the movie and then you get to see some real-time amazing views.
Is dinner included in this thing?
They've got some snacks.
Snacks. I'll have to sneak in my snacks.
Oh.
I'm the type.
It's Empire State. They're going to have security. They're going to find your Fritos when they pat you down.
No,
then you're
they're
gonna be
looking for hard
trouble.
drugs.
Oh, yeah?
If I want to take someone to the Empire State Building, how much is that going to cost me?
It's going to be $135 per person,
Whoa.
which is, about what you'd probably be spending on that overpriced dinner.
That's true.
Although actually, $135 these days, it's not that bad for dinner. It's nice.
My friends and I say that $100 is the new $20.
Oh, yeah. And $20 is just the leaving the house tax.
Yeah, for sure.
In New York, you leave the house, you're going to spend $20.
Yeah. All right. So for folks who want to get grooving, want a night out on the town, any suggestions?
The Roots are playing Brooklyn Bowl.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and Questlove is going to be DJing before and after.
Nice.
And then Xanadu, a roller rink in Bushwick, is having drag wrestling and skating.
Nice.
So that should be a good time.
Love Xanadu. The last time I was there, actually, I saw a guy break his wrist right in my face.
No, he went down hard.
He went down hard and went around for another round and came back and I saw a bone. Popped on out.
Well, he was a trooper to do one more round.
Yeah, he
got
thought
back
he was
on the
okay.
Horse. Oh,
he
he didn't realize
okay.
how bad it was.
He didn't.
Oops.
All right, for those who don't want to leave their actual home, what are some ideas for them?
Well, East Village Pizza has a heart-shaped pizza that'll run you $30. You can, celebrate the holiday and not even leave your couch.
How many toppings?
I think they've got 4 different styles of it.
Okay. I'm about to say, because just a one-topping $30 pizza, it seems unfair.
It was a heart.
Yeah, but I mean, that's just a dough shaping thing.
They got
It's not
plain
science.
white pepperoni and margarita.
I love margarita pizza. What's your fave?
Probably just plain pepperoni if I'm hungry.
All right. So a plain old cheese pizza, but, if you're hungry or if you feel like celebrating yourself, pepperoni.
Sure.
Okay. We're talking a lot about Valentine's Day for the lovers, Valentine's Day for folks who love themselves, and Valentine's Day for those who want to spend some time with some loved ones. But I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the Valentine's Day haters. So let's segue and talk about the haters who walk among us.
They are here.
They are present. And, speaking of present, they're giving out presents. Roaches named after someone? What is this, Hannah?
The Bronx Zoo has been doing this for a minute. It's pretty funny. It's like $15, and yeah, you can name a Madagascar hissing cockroach after whoever you want. Some people take it as a compliment. Some people are amused by it.
Okay.
Or if you're feeling vengeful, I guess you can name it after someone who really hates roaches, has a particularly bad infestation right now, really rub it in.
Would you take it as a compliment?
No, they're disgusting. I hate water bugs.
Okay.
I mean, they'll inherit the earth, but I really don't like it when they put themselves in front of me.
Yeah, but if you had like an ex that you wanted to give a roach to, what would you name that roach?
No, I'm not vengeful like that.
Oh, you're not?
Nah.
Stop.
I don't want to look at them. I had a hard time pulling up the website and seeing the roaches on the homepage just to research this.
Oh, you don't want to see the roach or your ex?
They're so gross. No, the roaches.
Oh, okay. All right. That's WNYC's Hannah Frishberg, not the roach. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me and not naming a roach after me.
Of course, I'd never do something like that.
I trust you.
Yep. What has your dating experience been like in New York City? Let us know. Send an email or a voice note to nycnow@wnyc.org. We might use your comment in a future episode. Thanks again for listening to NYC Now. I'm Janae Pierre. Sending you much love this weekend. Stay warm. See you next time.
I haven't been on the apps in so long.
Oh, this is great.
I got blacklisted from Tinder about 5 years ago, actually.
Tell me more.
I was using it to source a story. They fairly blacklisted me.
What was the story about?
It was about Democrats and Republicans who were vengefully sleeping across the aisle. I did source it through Tinder, but I also then was blacklisted from Tinder. And then I complained, and they reinstated my account, and I kind of regretted having complained because it was kind of a funny gold star. Just...
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You got some cool points from me.
Thank you.
Not that you need it anymore.